Let's get back to Redfin, okay? I mean, I've been using Redfin for quite a while, the last few years to cover a lot of different articles and trends. So today I'm going to go over the big picture. I'm going to go over the nationwide housing market and how Redfin has provided the data, and the year end is December 25th. Okay, so this is my last review of the Redfin housing data year to date, December 25th, 2022. So, and it kind of coincide with the NAR analysis that pending sales has been steadily dropping throughout this year, 2020. And so, in fact, let's go over the new listings. I know seasonality is also plays a part. You know, the last quarter of every year, we see housing activities has always has pulled back because of the holidays. Most people are not motivated to get into any kind of real estate transaction. So that explains the slowdown on in the fourth quarter of every year. But with that said, you look at the trend year over year. This past year, or the black line is 2022. The new listing, look at the peak of the new listings was back in June of this year, 2022. And then the new listing has steadily declined, week over week, month over month this year, all the way down to where there are only around 45,000 new listings nationwide, which is 21% drop from the previous year. So it's pretty significant. So that tells me that people are not selling their homes. The builders are not building enough. I'll cover that momentarily on another slideshow. So just because pending sales has been dropping month over month for the past 6 or 9 months, it does not mean we are in the housing market is in a very, very bad situation. Not really, and I'll tell you why. So oftentimes, here's another problem that I hear when people see the negative headline. Home sales have dropped, significantly, month over month, ever since the interest rate has risen. Home sales dropping does not mean home prices dropping. There's really no correlation. Oftentimes, is a inverse relationship. So, you have to understand the wording. You have to understand the sources of the information and how they report it, how the YouTubers out there and the mass media, when they provide videos about the housing market, especially this past year. House sales decreasing does not mean home prices are decreasing. So you really need to take it into perspective. All right. So with that said, there's a silver lining. What are the consequences of steady home sales decreases? And I will share that with you momentarily as we go through this the remainder of my presentation. So let's get back. Let's get back to the Redfin analysis. So new listings dropping quite significantly. This is this eye opener, and also let me go over medium sales price. Okay, medium sales price nationwide. I mean, the Western region, yes, we have seen home price drops. Yes, real drops, 10 to 13%, especially in the Northern California, where I live, San Francisco Bay Area, and Southern California as well. Because it's just you have to realize the California housing market has been a cyclical market, go up and down, and so forth. But the other markets in the U.S. are doing well, believe it or not, in the Midwest and Southeast. But I'll show that to you momentarily. So yeah, there's like 10 to 13% drop at the median price peak this year nationwide. Was around back in June at 390,000 median price. Now we are forward 6 months later toward December. So really, if you think about it, all the gains that occur from 2021 to 2022, you see the gain like 13% year over year appreciation between 2021 to 2022, 13% in the mid-year. Yes, drastically disappear back to whereby you can make the argument of no appreciation, at least nationwide, year over year from 2021 to 2022, because of this, steadily house price drop. Us, we are experiencing a market correction as a result of the skyrocketing of the interest rate from 3.5% in the first quarter of 22 to as high as 7.5% back in October, now back down to 6.5% for most people. But yeah, the silver lining is, look, a lot of people don't talk about it because I always take a positive long-term approach. I mean, you look at the home buyers and real estate investors that purchased their houses back in 2019. I think 2019, the median price of a home, or like as you can see, 276,000. And then you fast forward 3 years later from 276K to a whopping 389K. We're talking what? We're talking 30, 40, 50% appreciation in some markets, some less. Oh yes, I know some. The price drop has, almost double digit in not nationwide, but the western region, California, Arizona, Nevada, perhaps Austin and Boise, Idaho. Yes, those pandemic boom and bust market has seen a very significant drop in home prices, 10 to 13% year to date. But the other markets in Midwest and South and Southeast is doing very well. Either they are stay level in terms of home appreciation in the past 12 months, or even have achieved positive appreciation in many markets in the Midwest and in the South and Southeast. Right. So let me go over another Redfin, another scenario, pending sales. Okay. Pending sales, as I mentioned on the article I just shared with you with the NAR, they're showing at least 6 to 9% of pending sales nationwide from their data, and the Redfin also showing somewhat similar, right? Because at the peak of the sales pending sales category back in May of 2022, we have like 76,000 pending sales, and now fast forward to December 25th, we have only 35,000 pending sales, which is a 37% reduction year over year from 2021. So, yep, pending sales is down, and home sold is down because, again, the current homeowners they are sitting pretty, they're not selling their homes, and builders are pausing construction for various reasons. I will go over that. So let me see what else I want to highlight for you that are very, very significant. So I'm going to talk about over here in the final data I'm going to talk about on the Redfin. Hopefully it's final. Month of supply, right? 6 months is a balanced, healthy market where you have equal amount of seller and equal amount of buyers. Now, for the past 2 years, we have very, very low supply of inventory, especially at the beginning of this year. At the beginning of this year, back in March, we have 7.6 weeks of supply, not even 2 months supply of inventory. 6 months is a balanced, healthy market. So it's very much a seller's market at the beginning of the year and even the past few years during the pandemic, as you can see, right? Very, very low supply of inventory with the high demand due to the record low interest rate of the last few years. That's why we have seen skyrocketing of home prices. But then because of the demand has subsided due to the higher interest rate, we have less buyers in the market for the past 6 months. So as a result, the inventory have risen. You might have heard that there are more inventory. They are coming back to a somewhat of a buyer's market, and whereas buyers these days, for those people that can afford it, they are in a position to negotiate, and they can get a good price. They can negotiate for the interest rate, many good loan options, and so less competition. So for those people that want to buy, and who's to say they should not buy as long as they can afford it, as long as they have a long-term buy and hold strategy, 7 to 10 years and beyond, they should be fine. But having said that, per December 25th of this 2022, the weekest supply nationwide us per Redfin is 13.4 weeks. So you divide about 4 weeks per month. You divide 4 weeks, divide into 13. So we only had like still 3.4 months supply of inventory nationwide. So think about it. 6 months supply inventory is a balanced market. The seller doesn't have an upper hand and the buyer does not have an upper hand. So clearly, the Redfin report a 3.4% supply of inventory nationwide. I know each market is a little bit different, local market, as I always say that. 3.4% is still a very much a seller's market. That tells me because the pending sales has been decreasing drastically month over month this year, not enough buying demand and sellers are not selling. There are very few housing sales. So as a result, the supply is going to get worse as we move forward, especially if the mortgage interest rates stay at an elevated level, 6% or what have you. So, yeah, still, to me, again, my takeaway is demand is still greater than supply because the supply is 3.4% of inventory. So it's a concern. So all right, so that's the end of my Redfin analysis.